Hi guys, welcome to the Real Football Talk. Eid Mubarak to all our viewers that are celebrating Eid, and Eid Mubarak to you, Adil. How are you?
Yep, good. Eid Mubarak to everyone who's watching and to you. And yeah,
Good Eid? How was it?
yeah, it's good. It's good. Get some time with the family,
Yeah.
eat lots,
Yeah,
and
too much.
literally, yeah,
Feel too gassy, too much fried stuff,
too much in it. Like you get used to not eating, and then it feels so strange to eat.
Yeah,
But
but
it
then you
still
know,
doesn't stop you from just eating. Like everyone just keeps putting food on the table, and it's like,
yeah, and you go to every house and they like keep giving you stuff and you have to have it because or else you're being rude, and all of a sudden you feel like the food's up on your chest and stuff. It's too much. It's too much. All right, let's get down to business. Let's start with the top four race. Adil, should we start at West Ham versus Arsenal?
yeah.
2-1. Pretty much what you said last week. Boring game, but Arsenal managed to nick it. What did you make of it?
Yeah,
Why are you laughing?
then I was gonna say, yeah, it's refreshing when you agree.
What do you mean?
When it comes to Arsenal, you seem to get a bit, passionate. But no,
I watch it more closely. That's why.
all I can say is, yeah, it's a bit of a Stoke City, isn't it? Hold on to solid defense, and they get two set piece goals.
Like I said, I don't care how we win, even if it's two own goals or anything. The win is the one that matters.
Yeah, but obviously Watford they're missing a lot of players.
Yeah.
They got not Watford, West Ham, and the obviously semi-final. You could tell that took a lot out of them because obviously they were down.
Yeah.
At the home game, so from early, so they're having to push in that game too. So this is a time of year where you can see some teams can't perform at their best and can't rotate as much, and that's why it's quite a boring game because Arsenal got the lead early and then kind of just played on the counter and kind of just relied on playing Eddie and Nketiah in behind us on the counter for the rest of the game. But yeah, I mean, workmanlike performance and two set piece goals.
What did you make of it's strange. Holding never scored in the Premier League for us out of nowhere. What a time. What a time to put in a performance.
But you can't really miss that. I mean, that was right. That's on the button, I'm like, it's just clearly West Ham had issues around picking up. I thought Fabianski was quite poor. I mean, for the second one, it's bad enough that Gabriel has the whole back post to himself, but then it was actually straight at Fabianski.
Yeah.
And that was poor keeping. That was an easy save. That was a comfortable save. Because it's
maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe the power probably beat him.
There wasn't that much power in the head. He just tried flicking it out with his legs and just kind of just flicked it into his own goal, really, with his knees. So yeah, poor keeping, and like I said, not much to say. Like Arsenal just kept getting the ball out wide and then going back and then going side to side. It wasn't a game that really had much going, and surprisingly, it was the pundits. They were going on like Arteta's done some masterstroke and giving the captaincy to Odegaard, and obviously they're watching pitch side so they can see, and clearly there was something in the fact that he's an organizer on the pitch, and
that he is, because when I went earlier this season, I think it was the City game, and there was something Odegaard spotted, and straight away he was flagging to Arteta to say, like, as in to what to do because of this issue, and he was then organizing everyone else straight after that instruction. So I think
it's very clear. It's quite tactical, and he's like he's the Arteta on the pitch. So yeah. What else is there to say, really? I mean, other than that, it would have been interesting to, maybe see this match with West Ham fresh and, able to really have a stronger lineup. But this how it is, it's a time of the year where those who have less games, benefit, have a slight advantage, and you can just see it. You can see it with Sam lacked the energy.
They got a lot of players out as well. Pretty much the whole defense line is out. So makeshift backline apart from Zuma.
Well, but even with Zuma, he's been rushed back in, so he's not
from
actually
injury, from injury, yeah.
So, yeah. No, there wasn't. It was a great watch, like you said. There wasn't much to say about it other than maybe Nketiah needs to improve his finishing, because he seems to always try and bend it around the keeper, but he doesn't actually set it outside.
He doesn't actually fully bend it.
And he goes side on so quickly that it's obvious what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
that second chance, not the one he got the corner from. There was one after that where he showed from an angle, and you can see the whole right hand side of the goal opened up. I'm like, you're a striker in the Premier League. Surely you gotta just you can even pass that into there. And then he misses the whole target. He doesn't even need the target. I'm just like, what?
I think the striker in the Premier League is a bit, a bit over the top. Like,
but he's the striker in the Premier League.
He's only just broken through. You can't go like he's a Premier League quality striker.
No, I'm not saying it, but he's playing in the Premier League, Adil. Surely you have to be good enough to play, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's playing out of necessity, isn't it? He's not playing out. Like Aston Villa played some 17-year-old out of necessity. Are we going to start saying he's a Premier League player? He should be some amazing. He's a kid coming out. He's playing under 18 football yesterday, and now today, because the club needs him, he's playing Premier League. So, I don't know if Eddie Nketiah, I think he's one of those guys who clubs will always be interested because of his immense pace. But is he ever going to be at a club and really hold down a starting position right now? And you look at it, no, he's gonna be like a Shane Long, isn't it? Shane Long is similar, just immense pace, but never.
I think he's one of those just instinct striker. If you give him too much time, then obviously he'll mess it up. And if it's just,
he was definitely Arsenal's best player for me. I thought. I thought he's and Lenny was quite good.
Okay,
Holding defended well. Holding was blocking, and really because West Ham also struggle for creativity as well, and they seem to just try and pack the box and really try and get chances
out of pressure.
Having people in the area rather than any creativity. So yeah, good win, good time.
Massive results, considering obviously Spurs winning just before the game, so all the pressure was on them. In terms of Spurs, 3-1 win, comfortable?
Yeah, it was a good win. I mean, similar situation to West Ham. Leicester played in the same final. They rotated quite a few of their players. They changed quite a lot of the lineup. But yeah.
Again, set piece.
I think
first goal.
Leicester played into
Spurs'
game plan, because Spurs want to spring the attack against you, and they really want to, they prefer a team that tries to take the game to them and tries to, really take the initiative, and then they can control the tactical battle. And Leicester kind of played into it in trying to dominate the game and trying to be a bit more on the front foot, and yeah. It ended up being a routine win. I mean, the first goal makes a huge difference, and that's incredibly soft goal. But Leicester have, I think, been the worst in defending set piece for the last 2 years. They've really had problems with defending set pieces. So it's surprising to see a Premiership team struggle with sorting out a system for set pieces for 2 years running. It's very surprising, especially when they have actually guys who can head the ball like Evans, Soyuncu. They're centre backs, they're not guys who can't handle it. I know indeed he's out there, but they're not like an extremely short team or something. So it is very surprising.
Mm. Do you reckon the problem? I mean, do you reckon maybe they have a system? It's just players switching off and just not, or rather than because of how long it's been a problem? Do you reckon it's actually a problem with the system or the way they?
Well, it's a mentality and a system. It's both because obviously, but what I don't understand is why they keep sticking to it, or maybe they have. I do remember quite a long time ago, Brendan Rodgers saying
Spoke about, yeah,
he tried everything, but when I actually looked into Leicester, I felt the problem was they actually have too many men back. They literally at times put the whole team back because it's become such an issue, and everyone just gets in each other's way. So
you think that in itself creates more pressure because obviously that's an issue and mentally.
Yeah, but also it's like when you try so many things, and it's still not working, then you kind of the whole team loses faith. But you got everyone there, you got everyone back who don't have faith, and they're just getting in each other's way.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised it's something that they haven't been able to tackle, and there's a lot to be said because we know how Liverpool a few years ago brought set piece specialists in. We know Man City have put more focus into that area and got specialist coaches.
No, Arsenal done the same thing last year.
Yeah, because what is it? Liverpool started the trend, and suddenly there's a big jump in their scoring from set pieces. So then Man City followed suit, and they've had huge success with that, as shown in the result this week. And then now you're saying Arsenal. I mean, it's everyone's marginal gains really, and everyone's trying to find the little extra that the team that have been successful are doing, and it's a copycat league amongst the best. Bottom line is what works. You can see slowly, even United are now trying to take that template of getting a coach and going young and really building and getting superstars. So why? Because that's worked for Man City and Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Arsenal are doing the exact same thing. Only difference is maybe Spurs and Conte, because Conte loves experienced guys. He knows how to work with those egos. He loves, and wherever he's been, he's always tried signing characters and already established stars and quite old players.
Yeah.
But if you look at all the other teams, they're going younger and getting rid of all the experience and getting rid of all the baggage.
In terms of like the top four race, I mean, how does it fare? What does it look like to you? Because who has the advantage?
I think like it's obvious momentum is there with Arsenal, and they have had a second push, but then like they look like, when I watch them, they look like a team under pressure. They look like they're struggling with the weight of the pressure. So I think the win against Chelsea has really given them a boost. It's obvious they find it easier to beat the better teams. And the results have shown that, Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham. So it kind of shows the teams that come out and try to play, and we know that, Arsenal really like playing that structured style, really formulaic football, and it works for them. So, yeah, they have the momentum, but I don't know, like, all season we've been saying Conte and Spurs, not because of how well, I mean, they're struck, they're not playing convincing football either, but it's just the Conte factor makes you think it's hard to bet against him.
And he
helps. It's going to come down to the head-to-head at the Emirates.
Yeah. What do you make of the game coming up against Liverpool?
Spurs do have the harder fixtures, I think.
No, they only got the Liverpool game now. That's hard. After that, they got Burnley and Norwich.
Yeah, go on and tell me anyone harder than Liverpool that
Yeah.
Arsenal have. So that's a
We
hard
got,
fixture list.
for us, yeah, Newcastle away is hard.
Okay.
You
You're gonna
you
push
are
on
you look at
Newcastle and Liverpool.
Liverpool
So what?
1-0 away at Newcastle.
Just take the
I'm not
Arsenal
saying no,
chances off.
I'm not saying it's as hard as Liverpool, but I'm saying in terms of if you look at fixtures, yeah, we do have hard fixtures.
Okay, hold on. We do. Yeah. So hold on. If you just give me a
Since we're talking about Liverpool, Adil, what do you make of their result? I mean, away at Newcastle, 1-0.
you mean talking about Newcastle?
Yeah, same thing, isn't it? We're talking about Liverpool and Newcastle.
Yeah, it was quite a dominant game, quite comfortable. I think Newcastle gave it a bit more in the second half, but they couldn't really create. And really, the Newcastle's biggest problem was the players, and most specifically Almiron does not know how to stay on side. I mean,
yeah, so many opportunities.
There were promising opportunities that they ruined because the player running in behind just could not time it. And it was just always going way too early, and so that timing wasn't quite right. But definitely, it's another impressive performance for me. Is a bit more impressive in the sense that 1-0 is a nervous lead to have, but they really kept it comfortable and they really kept that control. And even though Newcastle tried and had a few points, at no point did they really feel like the team on top. It always felt like.
Well, it didn't really feel like they were going to score either, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was one of those.
It's a really good performance, really. And yeah, what can you say? I mean, the amount of, different players that can, switching in that forward line and they're getting goals and
Okay, Keita, out of nowhere. But
that's an excellent goal. But you look at the 1-2, the pass from Jota, it's just a quality goal, quality finish. And yeah, I mean, they're playing with confidence. They really are looking hungry at the business end of the season, and really impressive. I thought that's a very impressive performance. Newcastle, like I said, is a tougher game now. The stadium's buzzing.
They got the confidence going. You can see. Did you see the atmosphere at the Newcastle Stadium? That was
yeah, and that's why everyone always hated the Ashley era kind of, because that's how Newcastle always has been. I remember, under Bobby Robson, Newcastle just absolutely buzzing. So
yeah. Next year, this Newcastle is going to be proper difficult, isn't it? Once they get a couple more players in.
Yeah, and they're doing the same thing. Looks like they're getting smart signings, getting younger signings. They're not getting, going crazy on trying to get the big names in. And Eddie has been very impressive because even while he was at Bournemouth, I always criticized him because it was always a very much as good the opposition approach. And then suddenly in that last season with Bournemouth, he was struggling, and it became he suddenly tried being defensive and solid and structured, and it backfired because he kind of betrayed his identity. But always that niggling feeling was there that he's a front foot manager, likes to play good attacking football, but doesn't know how to set a team up to be solid structurally off the board. But it's the total opposite with this Newcastle team. Even against Liverpool, you could see that they are still organized and structured, and Liverpool had to play quick, fast tempo football, commit players forward to break it down, and they've been solid defensively, and so they're building it in the right way.
And In terms of Liverpool, I mean, they're in all four now. They just gone through in the semi-final of the Champions League as well. I mean, how impressive have they been? I mean, to be in every single competition and at that level without really even making a mistake or losing a game.
It's unprecedented, isn't it? It's unprecedented. It's unbelievable. I mean, you can't really put it into words
I'm just trying to ask you from a like a manager's point of view, how do you keep the players to that level-headed and that?
But you see it because every press conference you see the energy of Klopp, you see the openness in which he talks. You see so many times managers cramping up, getting tight even in press conferences. Every single press conference, post-match interview is long. He's not looking to end it. He's not looking to cut it short. He's going on. If anything, he might be talking more gibberish than normal, because he's so happy and jolly. And every pre-match, he puts a different angle on it. Hungry, love, using compassion and love last time. He's finding different ways to make the players focus on different things other than the pressure of the situation. And then, that's just great management, how he's able to protect the players and give them a mental edge and not make them, really think about the feet. And that's why they haven't taken their eye off the ball, and that's why they're still going for quadruple, and that's why you can have nothing but the highest regard for what they're doing. It is the most successful season up to now any team has ever had, and it's just amazing. It's unbelievable. It's not at a time where there's COVID and there's it's at a time where the Premier League is tough.
Yeah,
I would say one thing. I do think Europe is easier. Other leagues and other big teams are going through transition and financial difficulties. But you can only do what play and be and other teams are struggling with the consistency that they're doing, and it's just amazing what Liverpool and let's be honest, Man City only have lost a couple of games more, but really they're showing similar levels of consistency.
I mean, he just signed a new contract, hasn't he, as well? Extended to 2026. Klopp.
Yeah, like I said.
But do you think he's taken another level in terms of his management? Because you see the improvement from last year, where you kind of went through that roller coaster, and now all of a sudden he just seems gone from another.
When you look at it, he's making every big call right. Every big call he's made, it's been right at the beginning. He was rotating heavily, really early for the first time in his, career at Liverpool, where normally he'd rotate come the busy period. He was rotating very early at the start of the season, way before, and he's getting everyone involved and getting the confidence and the belief straight away. And then when players were injured,
the other guys came in.
Backups were already confident, like Tsimikas and them were already able to fill in. So, yeah, I think tactically he's been good. How many games, recently, especially, he's made changes, and he's got amazing plays. It's amazing when you can bring Jota, Luis Diaz.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is a massive difference in terms of in the bench, the quality they have now.
But he's getting the calls right. He's making the decisions, and ultimately, that decision to get Luis Diaz has just added the extra dynamism that they needed, because and that's what you call excellent management. They were at the start of the season, Salah started on fire.
Yeah.
But then also they were kind of relying on Jota always getting the first goal in those games. So even though Salah ended up scoring, and it wasn't really always the first goal, it was Jota. Sometimes against the run of play, a lot of the times, the poacher suddenly getting a goal out of nothing. And then Liverpool able to dominate the game, and then Salah's influence is bigger because teams have to come out and he's got space to attack, and then you see the efficiency of Liverpool. But he's recognized that maybe that quite a few games Jota's kind of given us a lead against the run of play, and or got a goal out of nothing, making something improvisation with the ball in the box. So either way, he's tackled it by getting another dimension into a team. He's also tackled it because he's given him flex. It's allowed him to kind of keep Mane happy, because now Mane is the main striker.
Yeah.
Ahead of Jota, but that's added another dimension to the game because they got more of a threat in behind now.
They got so many options. That's the most interesting. He can go with any combination and it'll give them something different.
Yeah, and he's been rotating his back pair, regularly.
And he's slowly embedding Konate in there as well. You can see.
Yeah, so tactically, I just think that he's been very good this year, which sometimes you can put question mark on, but this year
he's been on it.
He's been on point.
Liverpool looking really good for their quadruple. In terms of the
I still believe that's going to be hard.
Stop them, yeah. Man City 4-0 away at Leeds. What did you make of it?
Entertaining game.
Leeds were really up for it.
The atmosphere was amazing.
Yeah.
I felt the game kind of went strange when they started to throw the plastic bottles and all that. I think that gave City a bit more of an edge.
Yeah.
And that bit was strange. That we couldn't understand what the protest was about. Really couldn't understand why, But whatever it was strange for me, and I just think it might have just riled up the City players that little bit more. But they definitely played with a bit more, oomph to their play after that, and they were, ultimately what it comes down to is Rodrigo has the best chance of the game when it's 0-0 at the start.
Yeah,
and he decides to run to the corner of the 18-yard box.
I mean, he could have just played a cross or.
I mean, it's poor. It's poor play, and the thing is, this is a guy who's got bags of ability.
Yeah,
has got pace. It's not like he hasn't got pace. And the worst thing, and there's nothing worse than this, is when you get caught by the slowest player on the pitch, Gundogan, who literally looked like his hamstring was gonna go. Yeah, that's how much he was struggling. But you just gotta look at the character of these players. I mean, he came from
Gundogan running back all the way. Yeah,
he came from so far out, and you could see he was struggling. It's like it felt like his hamstring was gonna pop, or he was just gonna like drop, like stumble and drop. Yeah.
Wait, I think we need to get the stats for this. Is this the fastest Gundogan has ever run? I don't ever see him run.
Well, that was the longest sprint he's ever done, I'm sure, because
I don't see him run.
But that's amazing. This is a guy who's won multiple titles at City. He's wrong side of 30, I think now, and he's still showing the hunger and the intensity that's needed to be in a championship team. And yeah, at the end, it's just pure naivety from Leeds. Because once the second goal went in, they just dropped their heads. And again, what we alluded to at the beginning, set pieces.
Yeah.
Man City have looked good at set pieces this season, and the goals came from the first two from set pieces. So, yeah, you have to say, once it went 2-0 up, then Leeds playing gun-ho football is quite... I thought Foden was amazing.
I thought that's something that would change under Marsh, but obviously, clearly, it's still within the identity. I don't know if that's something he's dealing with still, or.
But the man-for-man high press has stopped. They kind of do come back into their own half and press from there.
Okay.
Before the press everywhere and man for man is just too easy to. So So they weren't easy to break open until the second goal. Until the second goal from the set piece from Maki, that's when the gaps were there, and Foden was able to pick it off. Lovely pass for the Gabriel Jesus goal. But I just thought Foden was really good. He looked really good in that 10 position, kind of freer role.
Yeah.
And having someone in front of him, he looked like he really enjoyed that.
Different role.
Having that double team of him and Gabriel up top.
Preparing him for when Gundogan, not Gundogan, De Bruyne leaves, isn't it? Pep sorting him out.
I think De Bruyne will be one of those that will retire at City.
In terms of Leeds, let's focus on them because obviously this puts them in a really difficult position. 34 points with Burnley.
Yeah, they're safe. They're safe.
They're safe?
They might just celebrate like this. I was like, what are you doing, you goof, man? You just lost 4-0 and you're singing and chanting, going around like you absolutely smashed it. Like, what, going toe-to-toe with City and then losing 4-0 is something to be proud of.
And I don't know. If you look at the goal difference as well, they're miles off the other two teams as well. It seems really tricky now.
You can just tell, like, if Leeds end up going down, you just know every meme is gonna have them just celebrating like this. Like, what are you doing, man? You just got thumped 4-0. Do you get it? It's mad.
Oh,
it's mad. Like, it's not intelligent, is it?
But are they at risk? Because they got what? Arsenal away, Chelsea at home, Brighton, and then Brentford away.
Yeah, obviously they're at risk. You look at their goal difference is the worst out of everyone.
And it's 34.
Plus now they added another 4 to it. I just think that, they are in touch with reality. 2-0 down, the football they're playing, how open they became. I just think that they may be not understanding the seriousness of the situation, because it was good to see a team attack Man City and really believe in their own qualities, and they gave it a go. They had chances, they played high risk, but once you're 2-0 down,
what risk, innit? At what risk? Because now you just made the situation even worse.
I don't know. I just think the the way he celebrated, I don't think he understands that kind of emotional intelligence in there, that you just got spanked and you're going on like this. You had your best performance of the season, and it wasn't. Just because you were brave enough to go toe-to-toe with City, you still lost 4-0.
You look at their challenges. They both won. Everton 1-0 against Chelsea, and then Burnley winning 2-1 against Watford.
Yeah, no, Burnley, they look the real deal. They're playing some really good football. Watch, quite a lot of the highlights of that game. McNeil just looks a completely different player every time he gets the ball. They just feeding him the ball and he's running at people. He's getting fouled. He's just causing havoc. And special.
Is that the biggest difference in Burnley, that McNeil's finally found that confidence? That
no, I think the biggest difference is the football they're playing. Vidra's playing really good.
Yeah.
Defensively, they go back to being really solid, but they are actually playing really good tempo passing football, and they go through the gears, get the ball out wide, they run in, they take a risk, they're making things happen. So you can see the freedom and the players are enjoying that freedom. They're allowed to bomb forward, guys are running, there's overlaps going on. There's a structure and a plan to it, and they work so hard as soon as they lose the ball. That literally everyone sprints back. I was really impressed with them.
Was their hero the problem? Sean Dyche, was he the issue?
Yeah, we said it before that obviously now a lot of the stories have come out that the new management was slowly taking away the control because he had way too much control. and maybe he no longer liked the fact that he wasn't given that control, and he didn't have the extra, fire in his belly that was needed to get the results. Because, like we always said, they never had terrible performances, but they never also dominated the game. They never really. It's just workman like.
In terms of the relegation battle, how big of a win was that for Everton? One, they're just beaten Man United recently. I know it's at home, and now Chelsea. These are all games we would have expected them to lose.
Yeah, it's big because they're under pressure. They're in the bottom three at the end of the day, and Burnley are winning. And there was a 5-point gap. Now, if they did not get a win against Chelsea, the pressure would have been immense. To assume they're going to win out. You'd start thinking it's getting close to that stage where you're saying they're going to have to win out. Like 3 of their last 4 of their last 5, however many.
Yeah, three of their last 5. Yeah.
Just to have a chance, because they're already 5 points. So that win is huge. That's now, made it a real battle. And I think that's why Leeds need to be worried, because, like I said, they have tough fixtures. They're playing against Arsenal, who are fighting for top 4, but will be fresh. They're not in Europe. They're playing against Chelsea, who might have lost their edge, but they'll be fresh. They're no longer in Europe. They're no longer in, and eventually they're going to start getting their house in order, because they're going to be, they still got the FA Cup, which is still a big motivation. So Leeds have got the tougher fixture list. Brentford is always a tough place to play. Brighton ain't easy. It's not they're not an easy team to beat. So they're not like, it's not like Wolves who've gone on holiday and you can just see the intensity and
everything is just
gone. It's like the moment they realize that Europe is something they can achieve and they're in no man's land, they're just completely switched off.
Well, I mean, if you look at the 2 fixtures, like out of the 5 that Everton got, they got Brentford at home and Crystal Palace. I mean, they get 6 points from those. Forget the away games, I'm saying. All of a sudden, I mean, where do Leeds get 6 points from? Or 5, I think, is what they need.
Yeah, I just think it's a real worry, because if you're praising, and I know we're kind of going back on Leeds, but just another thought came in, the fact that if you're praising the bravery of Leeds and the way they're really going at it with City, and they've lost 4-0, and that's what you're trying to really encourage. Arsenal and Chelsea are probably the worst teams to open up to. They're again, all right, you might get better success against us, but Arsenal are just a very structured team. They love picking off teams that give them space and open up against them. So you're kind of potentially playing into it. And also the timing of it, is, we said the next 2 were those games. So then, the whole momentum shifts, and it is a lot about momentum. The mentality changes when it feels like all the pressure is on you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, they've got enough about them. And look, if Leeds go down, you just know the offers are going to come in for Phillips and
Rafinha,
and everyone. Already clubs are just willing to pay big money for him. So
yeah.
I mean, I personally, I really hope Leeds stay up. You look at the crowd, the atmosphere,
100%.
But it's looking really bad for the
realistically. Who you think out of the 3?
Well, I hate constantly changing it. So I said like months ago, before they got rid of Daesh, I said it's going to be Burnley. I have to say they are actually playing genuinely good football, a good brand of football. They are actually dominating teams. So, when you look at the 3 teams, it looks like Leeds are the team that are going to try and get out, trying to over-attack. But I don't know. This is the moment where a lot of teams you play against are happy to sit back and counter. And look,
Chill out.
if you go a bit further, do you really want to play against a Brighton and a Brentford team that are safe, don't have they can sit back and just pick you off?
Yeah.
You know, do you really want to give those type of spaces to Ericsson to pick you apart?
Take his pass. Yeah.
So, yeah, if I look at it today, I'm worried for Leeds, but you never know. I mean, their bravery might because Arsenal, they're not looking convincing. They're getting results. Like, only one they looked convincing against was United doesn't matter because United just.
I don't even think that was convincing.
But the Chelsea, they struggled. But the Chelsea game, they looked really good, up for it. They really played with that bravery. So I don't know. It looks dodgy for Leeds. It does look dodgy for Leeds, but I'm just gonna stick to. I'm probably say I'm gonna stick to what I originally said. Burnley. That's before Dyche got sacked. But if I had a choice, I definitely want Everton to go down. Just because the club's a mess and they keep blaming everyone else. The wrong people, and that frustrates me. But also, I do like Everton as a club, the traditional club, really, good support, tough place. So, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any football fan would want Leeds to go down, considering how they've been in the Premier League and what an entertaining game is at Leeds.
But I think out of the teams, they look like the ones who don't realize they're in a relegation fight, which is suddenly switch your mindset. I do worry for Leeds.
Yeah, it looks very, very tough for them. And I know I keep hitting back into that minus 34. Like they're on 34 games, minus 34 goal difference. It looks like it's gonna come back to haunt them.
And that's why the attitude after losing the second goal was just ridiculous from Leeds. How open they were against the champions of the league and the table toppers. Just it was real naivety.
I think I don't want Leeds to go down, but I think that's what will happen. I think Everton will get 2 wins.
We can't predict. It's gonna change week by week, isn't it? You don't know how teams are gonna perform under pressure. Maybe Everton goes out and then they really struggle,
to get that confidence back.
So, because there's extra pressure because suddenly they're the favourites to stay up and things like that. So, don't know. I mean, it's going to change week to week, but I'm not going to keep adding to the predictions and changing. But like I said,
it's good for us. It still keeps the league a bit more competitive, because obviously if it wasn't like that, all of a sudden some of those teams at the bottom would just be on holiday, like you said, with Wolves.
But it's a damn side better than what it looked like
exactly.
Before we go, where it looked like the bottom thing was done, the relegation thing was done, and and then at the same time, it looked like even the top 4 race was done until Arsenal had their wobbly. All we would have been talking about really is marveling about Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. So it's good. It's good.
It's good for the league, and it's a good way to come to the end of the program. Thank you, Adi, for coming on, and for those of you watching, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment of what you think about the relegation battle or the title challenges, and the top 4. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.